So what would be a subquery? Subquery would be anything that is returning our data. And now
Right.
we have users, orders, and products, right? So there will be products, okay. So I want products, right? So this will be the product. Select a star from what I can do. I mean, we are refreshing right now, right?
Yeah.
So what we are doing, if we do, if we select users from public users, we have these users, right? We have these users. And now,
Okay.
okay, let me just do this. I have seen in my earlier videos that the lower section is not getting recorded. So I'm adjusting the screen now, right? All right. Okay, cool. So I guess little bit up. Yes, cool now. So all right. So this is the screen. Yeah, we have safety margin. Cool. So let's go ahead and okay, we can do this. Yeah. So where were we? Okay. So this is our user side, user table
It's a
data,
stable. Yes.
and I want let's from public orders as well, right? So what I have done
Okay.
in yesterday, I mean, I think day before yesterday you didn't join, right, in the morning. So I have
Yeah.
added price in this section
Okay.
because the thing is we are not creating the payments table, right, over here.
Yeah.
So if we are not creating payments table, just one second. Okay, okay, yeah, I have to. Just one second. I'll.
Okay.
Cool. So okay. So okay, we have seen. Okay, I have tried to fill this data, right? So
Yeah.
let's fill up this data. Update public orders, orders,
Set
and set.
price.
See, okay, yeah. Set price equals to 100. Okay, so let's add 200 where id equals to
Where
4. Cool. So if I'll again check the data, okay, it's separated again, but if I can check the data, now the fourth has a 200, right? So
okay.
this is the one way to update the data. But the thing is,
Okay.
if we are going to follow this thing to update data again and again, then there might be,
Yeah.
I mean, there are multiple ways that we can update the data, especially when we need to update 2 to 3 rows in a single row,
Rows.
right?
Okay.
So okay, so let's not get dive into that. I mean, I will let you know in the later classes. Right now we can just normally move. Nowadays we today we can only just use this one time update options. In later classes,
Okay.
I mean, whenever we are going to do, okay, or okay, wait, let's do it. It's a single line, right? So I have
Yeah.
to do, so how many data we have? 5 6 7, right? What we need to fill, 3
Price.
rows are empty right now,
Three row.
right?
3 rows we need to.
Come again.
For 3 rows we need to fill the price data.
First 0, right? id 5 6 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So update, everything will be same. Update public orders, right? It will be
Yeah.
same. Now it will be set what we do, enter the price, right?
Price.
And then we will write cases, right? So
Okay.
price equals to, and now I will write case, cas,
Yes.
right?
One.
And then I will tell when. Cool.
When
When id equals to 5,
5. Yeah.
then
Okay.
then I should return 100 200 300. Okay.
3.
Okay. Oh, okay, what happened? Equals to case when
When
id
ID is
equals
equal
to
to 5,
5,
then
then 300. So
price.
no, 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 just 300. It's cool.
Okay. Okay. Then 3.
But why there was some error, right? And then when id equals to
Is
6,
equal to 6, then
then 300 400 is
400.
not there, right? 400. And when id
ID is equal
equals to 7, when
to
id
7,
equals to 7, then
then 700.
okay, yeah, 700, right?
Yeah.
And this is the first thing that we are saying. Or we can do one more thing else, right? If there
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
some other cases that happens, then keep the price to the price, right?
Yeah.
And I can add where also, where id in, because why should I make sure that else happen, right? I can put the ids over here, 5 6 and 7, right? Okay, it is saying by price. Okay, okay, price and also I need to write. Okay, where like in switch case, right? Updated 3. See, now if I try to check the orders, every data has been
Yeah.
filled, right? So it's like when and then, when and then, when and then, right?
Yeah.
And this when and then is very, I mean, now it's very useful and casually written in all the programming languages. Whenever you will try to do something with the lambdas in Java or in functional programming language like JavaScript, then you will find
Yeah.
over there when and then is very much used, right? When data
Yeah.
exists, then do this, else or else do this. So this kind of nomenclature and method chaining are there in
Oh,
functional programming languages already, right? So databases has already taken that up, right? So it's better, right? Instead of setting again one and one, when ID and then, right? It's a little bit easier, right? So
yes.
all right, so we have updated our code right now. We have seen how to update code using when and then multiple data if you want to update directly. So our latest data is select star from public orders. So this is our orders table and our order has been made by users, right? So
Yes.
let's see users. So I want to know, first thing that I want to know is how many users are there who has ordered. Okay, we'll see in later classes. Right now, just try to cover it. So I want to know the products that person has ordered, right? Okay, but it
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
involve 3 tables. I want something of 2 table. So order. Okay, order ID I can use the user ID, right? User ID. I want the products of user ID that user one has ordered, right? So
Yeah.
what I'll do, I have to get the product IDs, right? So select asterisk from public and orders where ID equals to, let's say 1. Okay, user ID.
Mm.
So user ID equals to 1. Cool. I get 2 rows, right? But this is not the data I want. I just want product ID, right? So I
Yeah.
can just directly use in the
Uh,
select.
product
Select.
ID.
Okay, yeah. So my bad. Product ID.
Yes.
So in the select clause, I can add the product ID. Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, user one has ordered one twice.
Yes.
Okay, it's bad. It should have been different. Like so. Okay, we can update it. Let's make him order something else. Is there someone else who had made 2 orders? User two, no, only
One
user
order.
one has ordered twice, right? One, nine,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So make one thing. Let's make user two order something, and user two order two. So let's make him order one also, right? So
Yeah.
insert. Okay, let's check the structure of orders table first. Okay, so insert into public orders values. Cool. So we have 1 2 3 5 6. Okay, 6 orders are there. Okay, 7 orders are there. Okay, so the ID would be 8, product ID would be 2. Okay, 1 because 2 was already there. User ID would be 2, created date would be now, right? And price. Okay, what was the price of 2? The price of 2 was 500. Okay, so just set 500 again. Cool. So now our updated data will be
So
different.
it's the public dot orders.
Cool, this is orders and this is users, right?
Yeah.
So now I want product ID. So again, now the
Select
product
product
ID
ID
from public
from public dot
orders where ID
orders.
equals
Yeah.
to 2, right?
To
2, why 2? User 2, product ID, select product ID from public orders where, okay, user ID,
yeah.
my bad, where user ID equals to, right? 1 and 2, these are the product IDs, right?
Yeah.
So now what I can do, I can go to the product table, select asterisk from public orders where ID equals to, where ID in, we use in, right, for multiple data if you want to put. So we ID in 1 and 2. Cool. So this is how we are getting the data, right? We are
Yeah.
refreshing right now. Okay, I think there might be a chance that we have to stop in the midway, but no worries. So this thing is, we are refreshing it, the concepts now. So this
Yeah.
thing is normal, when I want to take data from two different databases, then it will be, I have to do
One.
things in this way, right? But the
Yes.
thing is, if I want to do it, I want to run this query directly. It is
Okay.
possible, right? Instead of doing that, so what I can do, I can just say that, okay, select asterisk from public products, right?
Yes.
Products where id, now in, right? If I'm using in, that means I'm expecting multiple row subqueries, right?
Yeah.
So select, over here I can say select user id, sorry, select
Product.
product id
Product.
from public users, oh my bad, orders where id, where user id, where user id equals to 2, right? So now if I run it, that's the same data I'm getting, right?
Yeah.
And over here, if I make it equals to, then I'm going to get an error, right? More than one
Yeah.
row has written by subquery used in an expression,
Subquery.
right?
Yeah.
So n is used when I want to deal with multiple data, and equals
Yeah.
to use when I want to use a single data. So now you
Yeah.
have a gist that, okay, whenever I my subquery is single row subquery, I can use equals to, right?
Yeah.
And whenever I want to use multiple row subquery, then I want to use in,
In.
right? In I want to use.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would be the first thing. And let us make this query only single row subquery, right?
Yeah.
Let's limit the output to 1, right? Now
Yeah.
it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So now the query has been converted into single row subquery.
Single row subquery.
Otherwise it was multiple row subquery, right?
Multiple rows.
Cool. So we have covered the single and multiple rows subquery. It is
Yes.
revision going on. And the other thing that we have covered was select clause subquery, right?
Yeah.
So again, if okay, if I want to get data from users, right, from public orders where id equals to 2, right?
Yeah.
This is the thing that I want to get. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I want to get the username as well, who was instead of id, I want to know product id. I want to know few things, that please give me product id, right, and give me price,
Price.
right? And give me, okay, let's make it simple, and user id, right? User id, right?
Right.
But the thing is, for us it might be useful, and we can get and go and get and fetch the data, right, of the
Yeah.
user id and product id. But the
Price.
thing is, it would be easier if we use, see, we are going to use the same query, right? And instead of using the same query over here, if we try to do select name, okay, first name, I think first name is the name,
Yeah.
from public,
Users. Yeah. Ideas.
okay, let's just remove this, right? Now it is Atul, right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it is making more sense that Atul has ordered something,
Yeah.
or we can even write his email and phone number. And same
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
with the price as well, right? We can do with the price as well the same thing. So
Yeah.
product id, instead of using direct product id, what we can do, we can add a subquery, select, okay,
Select
product, I think name is
name
the product name,
from
then products where id equals to product and
product.
underscore and id, right? Now this thing is making more sense, that Atul has ordered nachos for 500 rupees, right?
Yeah.
This is select clause subquery. Cool.
Select plus subquery. Okay.
Instead of
Got
join,
it.
it was better for us to use the select clause subquery. Where clause subquery we have already seen, when
Yeah.
we have seen where clause subquery when
Yeah.
we have done the multiple and single row subquery, right? So in
Yes.
where
Yes.
clause there was a subquery, right? So
Yeah.
now we have covered few subqueries.
Yeah.
Okay,
Single row subquery, multiple row subquery, where class, select class.
right. So single row subquery,
Single row subquery,
we have completed.
multiple.
Then multiple row subquery we have completed. Then select clause subquery, right?
Select plus.
3 select clause subquery. And then we have completed even where clause subquery, right?
Where class subquery.
Clause subquery, right? CLAUS. Cool. So okay, why it's giving error? CLAU. Okay, CLAUS. Let's select clause subquery. Okay, everything is fine. I don't know. Then it's a having clause subquery. Okay. So over here, from now, our main class will start, right? Otherwise, we were doing We were covering the select clause, having clause subquery, right?
Yeah.
So cool. So we now know. Okay, okay. We have added this. Okay, cool. We have added this price in this table, orders table, for using select clause subquery later on only, right? Because now what we
Yeah.
want to do, we'll try in the having clause. Now we know that in the having clause, we need to write a subquery, right?
Yes.
So what we can do? First thing is we can try to find out products, right? These are the products that we have. Let's try to work around with having query first, right? It will raise your having query as well. So
Yes.
I want to know users who ordered two. I mean, you're going to give me the answer, right? I want to know users who have ordered more than once or at least twice.
Okay.
How should I write the code?
Uh, oh, users who had ordered more than one time, right?
Yes, or at least twice, or user ID. I mean, you can give the rows or you can give the user ID. You can give the user ID who has ordered
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than once or at least twice.
Uh,
So see,
okay.
one thing is clear, right? Select
Yeah,
user ID will be
select
there, right?
user ID.
This thing
Yes,
is
yes.
clear. It is
Yeah,
from the
select
question
user
itself.
ID from public dot orders.
Yes, this thing is crystal clear,
Yeah,
right? Nothing new. It is
yeah,
in
yeah,
the question only, right? This thing.
yeah, yeah.
And now from here we need to see. And now we know one thing, that okay, we want to do the grouping, right?
Yeah,
Because we want to group by users, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
what we'll do? Group by. Group by is required, right?
Good.
Where clause required here in this question?
No, no, no.
So we'll do group by, right? And the
Good.
group by, and it is provided in the question itself that we will need to group by user ID, right?
User ID. Yeah,
So if we do this, then we get this much on this question, right? If you do the simple group by, it is doing
yeah,
nothing. Just it is, instead of 8 rows, we get the 6 rows, right? Because there are two
yeah,
rows with one user and two user, right? So it does
yeah,
nothing. It just taken out the unique users because it grouped it by users, and that just provided the user ID of those users. All right.
yeah,
So this is what happened in the previous query, but we don't want it, right?
yeah, yeah. We don't.
We want to sort it then. Then out of
Yeah,
the six query, out of the six data, we want to filter out data, right? And
yeah.
what is the keyword that we use to filter out data? Group data, to filter out the group data.
Having.
And we have having to filter out group data, right?
Yeah,
So we need to write having, right?
having. Yeah,
Nothing new till here, right? It was inside the question only.
yeah.
So yes. So after this, which condition should I write?
We can like use having count of the user ID is greater than one.
Okay. So how can I write the code? I mean, query, database query.
Uh, we can use select user ID comma count of user ID. Uh, there.
Select
Yeah. Select count of user ID.
count or user ID. I mean, okay, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, how
No,
count and user ID. This is how.
no, count of user ID.
Count of.
Specific user. Oh, okay, okay. Count of user ID means it will take all things. No, no, no. Mm,
Okay. From
Public.
public orders where ID
Yeah, it's
equals
equal.
to user ID
Yes.
and it's greater than 1. What is the issue now?
Column user ID does not exist. Underscore.
But what happened?
It has returned all the uh, user IDs.
Yes. But what is the reason why it has given all the
Having
user
select
IDs?
user ID is equal to user ID. Yeah, we had made that ID is equal to user ID.
where ID equals user ID, right?
Yeah,
And ID of order is this here, right?
yeah, yeah.
And we are trying to compare it with user ID.
This one, yes.
So instead of where, how can I get how many people? I mean, in having query, you haven't practiced having query, having clause.
Having not that practiced actually.
Okay, cool. So
I'll
it's okay,
practice
cool.
it.
So instead of doing this now, let's do one thing. Let's try to make sure. See, everything is a stack on each other, right? We need to practice as
Yeah,
well. So let's try to print the the number first, the user ID, right? The
yeah,
the user ID, and then with the with the orders that he had made, right?
yeah, yeah,
Can we do that?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, let's try to do that. Right? No, no worries. I don't think. I mean, we can cover the subqueries now today. I mean,
yeah,
we'll try to cover it in the evening session, and I trying to
yeah.
find a way to club both videos in a single video.
Okay, okay.
So if possible, I don't know how to edit till right now, but I'll try.
Yeah,
Right. So see, the one thing I know is that I need to add user ID. Right. Now
yeah,
the problem statement is, I want user ID and the count of orders that a user has made. Cool.
yeah,
So I want user ID, right?
yeah,
And what else I want? From public orders, right?
yeah,
And group by user ID, right? I got the answer
yeah.
right.
Yes, yes.
So the thing is, I have written this query in one
Yeah,
go, right? I didn't ask you, so there might be a chance. I mean, because it's late already for you.
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I have written it directly, right? So
yeah,
see,
yeah,
what usually happens. The one thing
yeah,
that we need to know, that the select clause we have already covered it. The select clause is the last thing that happens, right?
yeah, yeah,
Because we need to select something, but how can we select something upfront, right? Some data
yeah.
needs to be presented to us, and out of that data, I mean, if I have if the queries that I have written is sending me this data, right? Then out of
Yes,
all these data, I can just select one data and two data, right? That
yeah,
okay, two columns I only require, right? But I
yeah,
want the later part needs to be covered first, right? Because there might be
yeah,
10 million rows, so I cannot
yeah.
go and just start counting all the 10 million rows, right? So that's the
Okay.
one thing.
Yeah,
The other thing is when we do the group by, right? So what's
yeah,
happening over here, right? We just group by user ID, right?
yes,
And nothing else we have done. And
yes.
then we have used the count asterisk. Count asterisk, what you do, it just count the number of rows that has been written, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
over here you can see the 6, right? If I do the same thing, select asterisk or count asterisk from public users. Okay, my bad. Select users to 6, right? And
yeah,
if I remove the count also, the number of rows written is also the same, right? 6 rows. So you will get the six rows what I'm getting over here. It's just the same thing I'm getting here, right?
yeah,
So the count does nothing, it just count the number of rows that it has received, right? So
yeah,
what happens when I'm using group by, right? So
yeah,
I'm processing data group wise, right?
yeah,
So it will get, my select clause will get data grouped wise. So first
yeah.
it get the data of 1, right?
One. Yeah,
User ID 1. But with
yeah,
user ID 1, I can use only aggregate function. So we have covered this with in
yeah,
our
yeah.
having clause
In
section or
yeah,
group by
yeah,
section, that cause they have merged two rows, this rows and this row. Okay,
yeah,
this row has been merged, right?
yeah,
One ID with earn and 5 has been merged. So I
yeah,
cannot just directly get the data, right? Whatever is written in the user ID, I can get it because it has been
yeah.
merged. So both rows will have the same both user ID row will have the same data, right? That's why I'm able
Yes.
to use the user ID over here. But
Yeah, yeah.
for other data, right? If I want to order date or price, then that would be different, right? Because I
Yes.
want to treat it as a single entity. So I can only use it with the aggregate function. So count asterisk is an aggregate function, right?
Yes.
So if the question is that okay, give me the user ID with the number of order they have made and the okay and the total amount of money that they have spent in that order. So how can I
Yeah.
write the code? Select, one thing is that I want user ID, right? I
Yes.
want user ID. then I'm saying give me the order count as well, right?
Yes.
Then I'm saying give me the total price that they have
Yes. Yeah.
used from public
From
orders,
public database.
order by user ID, right?
Group by.
Oh, my bad, yes, group by. Cool, got it.
Yeah.
And now if I want the average, like he has spent two orders of 4,000, right?
Yes.
What is the average order that they have done? I mean, because two for two they have used
Yeah.
different price. Okay, for two, 500 and 500 is there.
Yeah.
One product is of 500 and second product is of two 500 also.
Yes.
One is of 100. Okay, we need to update it. Okay, update product, update public orders, set price equals to order one is of product one is of 100 rupees, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, over here we have done 300, over here we have done 400. Okay, there
400.
should be some unanimity. So cool, so let's do 400 where id equals to, where id
Product
equals
ID.
to 8, 8, right? So now if I again try to get this data, then the 2 order 2 has total thing is
900.
900.
Yes.
Why 900? Two orders 500. Okay, let's, how is 900? Okay, not orders, not this, orders. Let's just write it down. From public orders, then two users. Okay, orders where user id equals to 2. So one order is 500. Okay, okay, where id I have updated amount 400.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, my bad, I need to update it with 100 because there should be some unanimity. And now if we try to run this thing, so we get the total
400.
average of second user 600, right? One order is of
Yes.
500 and another order is of 100, right? But
Yeah.
I now I want the average price of it, right? So I can directly do
Comma.
abg dot price, right?
Plus plus.
Okay, my bad. Okay, okay. So what I can do, instead of some price I can use abj as well, right? Price. Cool.
Yes.
So this is the price that I got. That
Yeah.
average price of user id 1 is 400, right?
Correct.
Sorry, 200.
Yeah.
So if I go by the average prices, then if I go by the normal prices, right,
Yeah.
then also 700 is the is the largest was okay.
Yeah.
But if I go by the average price, the second position is with user 3, right?
600. Yeah.
Okay, but and there is a tie, but in if I go by the price, there is a tie between 1 and 3, 1 and 2, right? But with average there is a different item, right? So this is, I mean, we can make sure that if a user is ordering 1,000 rupees, I mean, in Flipkart the average order is of 1,500, right?
Yeah.
So let's suppose they want to give vouchers to people who are using Flipkart a lot, right? Some
Yeah. Yeah.
discount they want to give. So now what they will prefer is that they don't want people who are ordering less order, right? I mean, if someone is buying things of 100 rupees or 500 rupees, right, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to give them the voucher. If someone
Yeah.
is buying a lot, and that too of average order of 50,000, like he's buying some TV, he's buying some, I mean, washing machine and those things. So
Yeah.
they can write a check. Okay, we want to give the vouchers to the candidates who have count greater than 50 in a year. So they must order 50, at least 50 products in a year, and the average price should be greater than 20,000.
Yeah.
So that's how they can filter out people who are ordering some cheap items. Also they can filter out people who order just once. Let's say they have ordered 5 iPhones in once, right? So the order will be only 5, not 50. So once a user was just ordering once, they are removed that, and the users who are ordering a lot but of cheap prices, they are filtering out them as well, right? We can do this by
Yes.
using this, right? This query, right? It is possible,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so people are using this query in their, I mean, not exact this, I mean, a better version of this, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
concept are the similar. They are using it to provide the vouchers and all those stuffs. All right.
Yes.
So this is the one thing. So we have seen the select query. Okay, how much time is okay? You are going to get late, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So let's